Hello, I am Dr. Joy Verghese, consultant hepatologist and transplant hepatologist from Gilligals Global Health City, Chennai. In this video, we are going to look into that. What about the prevalence and the risk factors for alcohol-related liver disease? Globally, most common substance abuse is the alcohol consumption. Initially, it was thought only in the developed countries the prevalence rate will be high, but recent literature shows in Southeast Asia the prevalence of alcohol consumption and alcohol related diseases, not only the liver diseases, because alcohol will cause more than 200 type of diseases. Example, we know alcohol will affect the first fatty liver and liver cirrhosis and liver cancer. Apart from that, alcohol will affect the CNS. It will cause either neurological problem or it will cause a psychosis or behavior abnormality. The alcohol will induce the cancer also. We know that in GIT, if you look into the liver cirrhosis, and alcohol is the specific pathway to induce the hepatocellular carcinoma. If you take the GI system, it will cause the reflux disease, the gastritis, coronary vascular disease complications. So, and obesity, the alcohol is mainly will affect the liver. In alcoholic liver disease, in general, there are three types. One is the alcoholic fatty liver, that is the beginning. Second is the alcoholic hepatitis. Third is the alcoholic cirrhosis. If you look into that alcoholic fatty liver, the liver is the only organ in the alcohol is maximum metabolized within the cells. The liver cell called hepatocytes. If the consumption increase, if you look into the histology, if you take a biopsy from the liver and if you into the microscope, we can see the megamitochondria due to the liver-induced injury. And the AST, if you take the biochemical marker, AST level will be more than the ALT. So, this acetaldehyde, it is a toxin. It is a highly toxin. This induces the oxidative stress and it will cause the first fatty change. So, the fatty liver is the beginning of the alcohol-related liver injury. The good message here, if the concerned individual give up the alcohol, there is a chance of reversibility. Almost 100% reversibility chance are there. Alcohol induced fatty liver by the help of abstinence. If the patient or individual is continuously consuming alcohol, the next stage from alcoholic fatty liver, it will go to slowly fibrosis and cirrhosis. There is another term called alcoholic hepatitis, because here the alcohol, if the concerned individual consumes a pinch of alcohol in a short duration, the mitochondria within the cell is not able to metabolize the toxin because of the overload. It will cause the immediate cell injury, so it will reflect in the blood parameters. The liver function test, AGOT, AGPT alteration and the GGT alteration will be there. Then finally the bilirubin. So that's why there is scores are available to dictate which patient we have to consider as severe alcoholic hepatitis and what kind of the therapy we have to institute immediately. So in case if the therapy fails, even though the concerned individual will not have a cirrhosis, the patient might require emergency liver transplant. Third stage is called alcoholic cirrhosis. This is the end. So first fatty liver, then mild inflammation. Over the period of time, the inflammation will lead to scar formation within the liver. The scar, that is called fibrosis. Once the scar comes, in between the fibrotic cells, the normal liver cells will start to develop the hypertrophy, hyperplasia, then we'll go to a regenerative nodule. So this kind of the things called as a cirrhosis. Once cirrhosis comes, then there are two types. One is the compensated cirrhosis, second one is the decompensated. In compensated cirrhosis, the patient will have less symptoms like tiredness, weakness, sometimes they have the GI bleed. Even if I say compensated cirrhosis, to almost 70% of the cells will go on to the fibrosis. The second is the decompensation. Decompensation means the patient will have more and more symptoms. They will have a jaundice, they will have the leg swelling, they have the free fluid in the tummy, ascites, they will get a encephalopathy, and all portal hypertension related complications they will have. This is called decompensated chronic liver disease. So what are the risk factors? 100 people are drinking alcohol, only 20% of the individual will get a alcohol related liver problem. 80% of the individuals, even though they are drinking, they will not get a major liver related problem. So that is the 1 in 5, they will get a alcohol related liver disease. So what are the component will play? Number 1, the duration of the alcohol. If you are taking many years, there is a cumulative effect to the damage. Second, the concentration of the alcohol. What is the percentage of the ethanol in each content? Third, the quantity. How much quantity the individual is taking every day? It is a small quantity or the larger quantity, and the frequency. How often? So concentration, quantity, and the how often, and the total duration. These all will play a major role for the disease formation. This is the one thing. This we can control, we can prevent. Second thing is the genetic factor. So alcohol, some individual will cause the dependence. There are so many genes are involving. If genetic factors are there, that will not bother about it. It will cause, even though short duration alcohol induce, they will get a liver problem. Mainly the female gender. The gender also plays in female, the alcohol metabolism, that enzymes involving in the metabolism are comparatively lesser than the male. So that's why even if they take a small quantity, as the adequate enzymes are not there, so they will get a liver problem earlier than men. So female gender more commonly involved in the liver disease if they consume alcohol. Thank you so much.